everybody, welcome back to The Hobby Musician. Today's episode is due to popular demand. Recently on our channel, we put out a mini-series where I showed you how you can make a high-quality mobile recording rig using nothing more than a digital modeler like a Line 6 Helix and connect that directly into a tablet like an iPad or a Microsoft Surface. Well, a lot of viewers were saying, hey, that's great and everything, but what if I don't have a tablet? What if all I have to record on is my phone? Well, don't you worry. Today, we're going to show you how you can adapt all of the other things we've already talked about directly to your phone. So click the link at the top, which will open up a playlist where you can see how we set up patches and how we approached it on the tablets, the iPads, earlier. But today I'm going to switch up the camera and I'm going to show you specifically how you can go right to a phone and set up a recording session that will capture exactly the same thing without needing an extra device like an iPad. All right, I'll see you back in just a second. Okay, everybody, we're all set up here. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and open up a new session on GarageBand. One of the things I want to do is I want to do this so that the phone doesn't go to sleep on me, because before we even start setting up a new session, we need to talk a little bit about adapters. You can see here, this is where the signal is coming in from the Helix. The Helix is set up to use a regular USB 2 cable. So no matter what kind of phone, I'll do this so it doesn't go to sleep. No matter what kind of phone you have, it can be an Apple product, it can be a Samsung, it can be whatever you have, you're going to need some sort of adapter. And I'll put a couple affiliate links down below this video with some options that you could check out. But for this particular phone, unlike some of the tablets, in addition to being able to convert the USB to, in our case, Lightning, in addition to that, phones typically don't have enough power to power the adapter and run the recording software altogether. So the other thing that this adapter needs is the charging cable itself. So this has the extra port. So I need to plug in my Helix USB over here, and I need to plug in the regular phone charging cable here, so that when it comes out and plugs into the phone all together, now it's going to get power and it's going to get signal from the phone. So we're all set up to go. I've got the Helix on. We're now plugged in and ready to go. And you can see here we got a blank kind of GarageBand session. So I'm going to go up here to the plus sign and start a new session. And you can see here there's lots of templates. We could scroll back and forth. So if yours comes up with a different scroll, comes up with like a drum track or an amp simulator, you're going to want to scroll until you find this audio recorder. And down here, the one you're going to want to select is the instrument. And what that's going to do is that's going to open up a new session, and it's going to give us our first track. Now you can see here it detects there's an audio device connected. That's our Helix that we plugged in. And I recommend, if you get this notification, I recommend canceling it, because it's just asking you if you want to monitor the signal through the phone. And if you're recording or practicing in a room, chances are you got some other amps or speakers. So I just recommend turning off the monitoring. Now there's two things that we need to do before we even start adding tracks or setting up this to take all the Helix signals. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the setting wheel up here, and we're going to scroll down till we see advanced. And when we get advanced, it's going to give us the option right here at the top for multi-track recording. Now, depending on what you did last on your phone, it may be on, it may be off. Regardless of what it is, when you open it up, you need it on. Multi-track recording is what it sounds like. We want to have more than one track, so we need it on. So we can click done. The second thing that we need to do is I'm going to touch this plus sign over here, and my fingers are too big sometimes. Hold on. There it is. You got to get it just right. The plus sign is going to let us select how long the session records for. And right now, the default setting is for 8 bars. This is nowhere near long enough. And take it from me, I learned the hard way. I would set the recording up and we'd play a whole song, like 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. We'd come back and it would have stopped after 8 bars. So you're going to want to touch this and turn on automatic. Automatic just means it will keep scrolling and keep recording as long as the record button is pressed. And that's what we want for this. So click out of this. Those are our two general housekeeping things that we need to set up. Now we're ready to start tracks. You can see down here at the bottom that currently this track we have is set to channel 1. Now I'm going to touch this and you're going to see all of the options that we have. Now in our video where we showed the Helix routing and how we handle all of those signals, the Helix has up to 8 USB channels. And our particular patch is set up that 1 and 2 are separated. So we can have one signal coming down 1 signal coming down 2. But in our patch, we then said, if you scroll down, you can pick pairs. So our 3rd and our 4th channel were pairs, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So right now, if we want to set this to channel 1, that's going to capture our first signal. In our case, it's my base signal. So input 1 is going to capture this. So I'm going to click off, and I'm going to go up here to the icon that has like all the horizontal bars. This is going to change the view. Right now, we have the view for the settings. And you may or may not want additional things. Maybe you want some extra compression. Maybe you want some room reverb. Maybe you don't. You can take these, you can turn them all, scroll them down. Now we have a perfectly flat channel to just handle whatever signal comes in. That you can adjust to taste. So I'm going to go up and click this icon that will change. It changes our view. So now we don't see the settings anymore, but we see the track. That's our first track, but down here is the plus sign. So here's what I want to do. I want to add another track. Now it says what kind of track? I don't want a voice, I want another instrument. So here I hit instrument again. It brings me back to what looks like the same page. All the same settings show up, but here is where we're going to change it. I'm going to touch the channel, and instead of 1, I'm going to make it channel 2, which you can see down there. And I'm just going to scroll down the compression, scroll down the room, and now when I switch back, you can see now we're in a view where we have 2 channels. So I'm going to do this a little quicker. I'm going to add a 3rd one, but unlike the first 2, I'm going to switch the style. I'm going to go in, and instead of going 3, I'm going to go down, and like we said, we set up our patch so that the 3rd and 4th channel does have 3 and 4 connected. So this means if you're using the Helix patch the way we set it up, you can have some stereo effects or stereo things going on, and it will combine, it will record them to this single track because we've set it to be listening to 3 and 4 as a pair. So just to show that we're still kind of going down the same thing, now we've got our 3rd guitar cymbal there, and obviously, I mean, you can go in, you can change these icons, you can actually rename the strips if you want to keep them straight: keyboards, guitars, drums, whatever you're doing. So to get this final, I want to go ahead and 4th time, I want to add another instrument. I'm still going to take this down, take the compressor down, take the room down, take the room down all the way, oh, maybe, there it is. And then we're going to set it to match what we've got coming in from our Helix patch, which would be 5 and 6. So we have 2 of our 4 signals are stereo, 2 of our 4 signals are mono, and you can mix and match and decide what instruments you want according to your own tastes. So going back, the last thing I want to show you is now when we change our view, we see all 4 of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag over it. And when I flick over, you can see that we have some additional options here. And the last thing, when you've got this all set up, in order to use it, you're going to have to arm all of the tracks for recording. Currently, you see 1 red dot. And what that tells it is if I hit record right now, it's only going to record that 3rd channel, and it's not going to record anything for the others. So we're going to go in through and touch the red dot for all of them. And when you touch the red dot for all of them, it tells it, arm all of these. I'm now going to hit the record button once, and I want you to be listening to all 4 tracks. Now, before I show you that recording, I am going to say there's one little detail that you can add if you want. You can actually add a 5th track to this because the Helix does assign dry signal from the main input to USB 7. USB 7 is always set for dry signal, so you could, if you wanted to, add a 5th signal. I don't really personally ever mess around with that, so usually these 4 channels are all I need. So you can see up here, we got a metronome, we got a count in. I'm going to go ahead and hit record, and you hear it. It starts counting us in, and look, there we've got it. We've got all 4 tracks that are recording. Now, I'm not playing anything or sending any signal, so they're all flat lines, but this is recording, and I want to show you the other thing to watch is as this scrolls over, it's getting closer to 8, and it went past 8, and you're going to watch. It's just going to trail, and it's going to go as long as you play. And this, like I said, I learned the hard way, but that is a very key feature to this whole thing. So we're going to go ahead and stop this. And you're going to notice that if you use this in a real situation, you're going to have all the waveforms for the individual signals all right here on your phone. Well, that should do it for this patch, so let's get the camera switched up and let's close out this video. Well, there you have it, everybody. That's how you can take this idea of sending individual signals directly from your Helix right into your phone. Well, hey, I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you can use this technique in your own playing. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, play on, my friends, play on.